You signed up for TriDot. Great. Now what? Before you worry about assessments, advanced features, or understanding every number on the screen, there are a few things I want you to get right first. In this episode, I'm walking you through those first steps, what to focus on in your first couple of weeks, how to make the training fit your real life, and what to do when the plan and life do not line up perfectly. And at the end, I'll tell you about something new I'm creating to make the whole process even easier. 3G TriDot Kickstart. Welcome to Coach Erin Says, the podcast for triathletes who want to train smarter, race with confidence, and fit endurance sport into real life. I'm Coach Erin Burge, owner of 3 Goals Multisport Coaching, and each week we'll talk about training, racing, mindset, and what happens when the plan meets real life. My goal is simple: help you understand the why, make better decisions, and make yourself proud. Let's get into it. A couple of weeks ago in episode 7, I talked about the difference between athletes that benefit from a coach and having that extra accountability and support, and about those that don't need a coach, who have the internal motivation and they're able to make decisions on their own. So, having an adaptable plan is enough for those athletes. And those are the athletes I want to talk to today, because those are the athletes that work with TriDot and use TriDot or RunDot as a subscription, but don't ever hire a coach on the side. And that's perfectly okay. But the first couple of weeks on TriDot, it can be difficult because you're learning a completely new software while you're also trying to do all of the swim, bike, and run and take care of making sure your workouts get done. So, just like last week, I had ChatGPT give me some questions to answer that will hopefully allow me to get you through the process of setting up your TriDot program very well and get you through those first couple of weeks without any issue as you're getting started. So the first question that ChatGPT is giving me says, you signed up for TriDot. What is the very first thing you should do? So, I guess the obvious answer is you should complete the sign up process. You'll be asked to verify your email. You will be giving your name, your email, your height, weight, birth date, and just those kind of basic pieces of information. The TriDot system is going to walk you through that setup process seamlessly. I do recommend that you do the sign up on a computer, a desktop, or if you need to do it on your phone, do it in a web browser. There is an awesome app that you can download later, but for the setup process, doing it in a web browser and especially on a desktop just makes the process a whole lot easier. The one thing that I think is important about the setup process is the questions about where you currently are: swim, bike, and run. So you'll see the questions. They'll walk you through asking you about how fast you are and how long you've been swimming. Make sure you're completely honest when answering those questions. We're not interested in how fast you swam when you were a kid or when you were a collegiate swimmer. We want to know how fast you swim now and how long you've been swimming in the recent weeks. Same with biking, same with running. And this is because one of the biggest themes with all AI, not just Fit Logic, which, if you didn't watch my or listen to my episode last week, episode 8, I explained that Fit Logic is the AI engine behind TriDot and RunDot. But Fit Logic is just like any other AI, that what you put in, you get back. Meaning, if you put in good data, you are going to get optimized training from it. But if you put in garbage data, then you're not going to get the optimized training for where you really are. So when you get to those questions about swim, bike, and run, make sure you are as accurate as possible where you are now. Don't worry, you will do assessments eventually, and that data will then feed the system. But until you get comfortable with the system, the assessments can wait, and answering these questions will get you your first couple of weeks of workouts. At the end of the process, it will ask you to enter a race and or a goal. I do highly recommend that you do that. Even if you're brand new and you don't actually have a race picked out yet, putting something in for the race, even if it's just a goal distance that you want to do, will allow TriDot to set up your optimized training to get you towards whatever that goal is. It's not just kind of guessing what you want out of the process. So the next question is, once your account is created, what should you do next? The very next step, assuming you verified your email as part of the setup process, but the very next step you should do is connect your devices and download the phone app. So the phone app has just recently been completely overhauled. It is really slick. You can even record your runs and your bikes right on the phone, but you can also connect the devices you already use. So if you're using a Garmin watch or a COROS watch, you can connect those. You can even connect an Apple Watch. If you are using Groovy or Zwift, you can connect those. You can connect Strava. So anything that is collecting data for you, you can connect that to TriDot. Because as I said earlier, the best data that we can give to TriDot, the more optimized your training is going to become. So making sure that everything's connected and you've downloaded the app are the next things that I would do so that we can start making sure that the data is transferring from your devices to the TriDot system. Once you've connected your devices and downloaded the app, I want you to have a good look at the cadence of the workouts. So you'll notice that there are the same workouts on the same days of the week. For example, if you are somebody that's training towards a 70.3, you're going to have a long bike and a long run every week on top of the other workouts. Through the data that's been collected from tens of thousands of athletes over 20 plus years, it has proven, we know that having the long bike and the long run as far apart as possible in your workout week will allow for recovery and will allow for you to get the most out of both of those sessions. So when you very first create your account, TriDot's going to put your long bike and the run off the bike on a Saturday and the long run on a Wednesday, because that's as far apart as possible. But that doesn't mean that it's optimal for your life. Mathematically, it's the most optimal training plan. But if you can't do a long run on a Wednesday because of work or kids or whatever reason, then it's not going to be optimal for you because you won't be able to get it done. So if you're somebody that needs these long workouts to be on the weekends, then you'll want to go into the settings and change your long bike and your long run so that they're both on the weekends. I personally ride with a bike club that I love to do my long bike rides with. So I moved my long bike to Sunday because that's what fits into my life. So look at the way that the weeks are set up and then change that in the account settings so that it fits your life week to week. Of course, if you're looking at a once off, you need to move a run from a Monday to a Tuesday, it's really easy to drag that workout both on the web browser or in the app from one day to the next. But if you know you can never run on a Monday and you need to always move it on Tuesday, then you can do that in the account settings behind the scenes. So in these first couple of weeks, these are the things that you're working out. You're making sure your data is being transferred from your devices to TriDot. You're making sure that the alignment of the workouts will help you be consistent in getting them done. And you're making sure you're using both the app and the web browser so that you're understanding what the workouts are asking of you and that you're able to get them done. The third question is, when should a new athlete complete their first assessment? If you log in and start using TriDot as soon as you sign up, you'll notice that the assessments don't show up for a couple of weeks, and that is intentional. I want you to spend these first 2 weeks getting super comfortable with the process. I don't want you to worry about all of the numbers on the screen. I don't want you to worry about hitting anything perfectly. I want to make sure that data is getting transferred to and from your devices and that the programming is fitting in your life. And in these first couple of weeks, you'll work out any discrepancies between what's happening in real life and what's happening in the data and how it's being transferred. As you become comfortable and had a couple of weeks of comfort, then it's time to do the assessments. If you are hitting that early and it only took you 1 week to be totally comfortable with the programming, then go ahead and turn any bike workout into a time trial or a power test, turn any run into a 5K assessment or a 12-minute test, and any swim into a CSS test. You can do that right in the menu of any of the workouts. Once that data is into TriDot, the magic can really happen. So I would say that brand new athletes to TriDot should do that first assessment right around the 2 week mark, but earlier if they are feeling comfortable with the software. First, you're going to finish the sign up process, including adding a race or a goal. Second, you're going to connect your watch and download the app. Then, third, you're going to do 2 weeks of consistent training, making sure that the calendar has your ideal workout schedule for your life. And then, fourth, you're doing your assessments. So at that point, it feels like you should just be able to plug and play, open up your app or look on your watch and get the workouts done each day. And you will be well on your way to nailing your next event or race. But the next question that ChatGPT asks is, what happens if I miss a workout? And that's probably the most often asked question for people that don't have a coach on a regular basis. They want to know what happens if they miss. So the answer to that question is, of course, it depends. The technology allows you to simply move workouts ahead or reschedule them via the menu. But I want you to really think about whether or not that workout needs to be made up or if we just go ahead and miss it. So there's a couple of reasons that we miss workouts. One is that it legitimately doesn't fit in our life. And that's something that I would want you to really think about. Are you consistently missing a Tuesday run because it's not fitting into your life? Perhaps you do one less run a week, or perhaps you find another day to do that run. So that's kind of the first scenario of the missed workout. The second missed workout is when it's truly just a one-off. Maybe you overslept. Maybe you're not feeling well. Maybe you have a particularly stressful day. In all of those instances, if it's truly a one-off, just skip it. There's no need to make up a once in a while missed workout. So technologically, it's very easy in TriDot to do the moving, but physiologically, there's a decision to be made based on why the workout was missed and what you have coming up. TriDot is going to re-optimize your training knowing that you missed that workout. So if you missed yesterday's run and you wake up today, TriDot will have re-optimized based on you missing that run. So if you go ahead and pull it forward, it might throw your optimized training out of balance. So when it's a one off and you're truly just missing one workout very rarely, then it is not a makeup situation. If it is a situation that you can make up, maybe you have a rest day and you're just going to go ahead and pull it over into a rest day. If it's a swim, it's very easy to move swims around because the residual stress from a swim is much lighter than it is for biking or running. In those instances, technologically, very easy just to pull the workout forward. But I really do want you to think physiologically if that's the best thing for you. And if it's not a one off situation that you're missing consistently, then it's time to really maybe rethink the overall schedule, whether you move the day of that run or bike or swim that you're missing, or if you reduce the number of swim bike runs that you're going to do. Whatever decision you make, when you make those changes in the settings of TriDot, then TriDot is going to re-optimize your training for that new setup. It's not the most optimum, but it's the most optimum for you because it's what you will actually get done. Optimized training that does not get completed is no longer optimized. So just think about that when you're choosing whether you need to make up or rearrange your schedule completely. The next question that ChatGPT is asking is what should you pay attention to after each workout? So, when you are done with a workout, I don't know about you, but I can never decide if I need shower, protein, or a nap more. Sometimes I actually will take a protein shake into the shower because I need to do two of those things at the same time. But eventually, once I've had two or three of those other things, I always open up my workout and have a look at how I did compared to the spirit of the workout. If the workout was meant to build stamina, how did I do in that spirit? Was I able to hold the right zones? Was I able to do pickups and intervals at the pacing or power that I was supposed to do it at? So I always want to open up the app and have a look at the data of what actually happened versus the data of what was supposed to happen. So in the first couple of weeks, I don't want you to worry about all of these numbers, but as you get going, you'll start looking at your TrainX score, for example, and the TrainX score tells you how well you did based on the plan. So if your plan is an hour of running in zone two and you did exactly an hour of running, but you did it all in zone three, then you're not going to have a great TrainX score because you put more stress on your body than you were supposed to. And it's okay. The good news about adaptive training is TriDot's going to see that you overdid that run and it's going to make adjustments to your workouts coming up based on you overdoing that run. So it's going to re optimize based on you overdoing it. But always go into the workouts and have a look and see what you can learn. See if you can compare the first interval to the last interval and did the pacing remain the same? Did the cadence remain the same? These are all things that a coach would look at for you. But if you're not going to hire a coach, definitely take the time to open up the app and have a look at those things yourself. If you are going to use a coach, and even if you're not, it might be useful for you to put in feedback. How did it feel? When you were done, did your legs feel heavy? How was your breathing? How was a heart rate? We can see because that's part of the data. But breathing is something that, yes, it's correlated, but it's something that's more qualitative. So you're going to go in, or you should go in and put feedback in the notes. If you have a coach, 100% give them all of the qualitative feedback, the qualitative data that you can, because they're going to be able to make excellent decisions for you in the future based on both the data that's collected in TriDot and the feedback that you're adding to have the whole picture of exactly what's going on. But even if you're not working with a coach, give yourself some clues. Remind yourself, this felt great. I could have done more, or "Oh, this was really hard. It was definitely a stretch." These pieces of information say so much that's going to help you moving forward. So open every workout in the app when you're done, if nothing else, to see how you did on your TrainX score, but also to add that feedback to help you make adjustments and make decisions as you're moving forward. Then the last question that ChatGPT is asking is what should success look like in your first few weeks? And I'm going to say 4 weeks with TriDot. And the honest answer is it should feel like or look like confidence that you know that every time you open up the app or the software on the website that you are confident that you're going to be able to stick to that plan consistently, that you are going to be able to hold the heart rate or the pacing or the power that is prescribed, and that you know that it is making you a better runner or triathlete. You should also feel confident that you know whether you can do this on your own or if you need the assistance and the support and the accountability of a coach. And this is why I am so excited to introduce what I'm calling 3G. So, my company is Three Goals Multisport, 3G for short. And I'm going to start in September what I'm calling the 3G TriDot Kickstart. Now, of course, you can do it with RunDot as well, but most of my athletes are triathletes. So we tend to use TriDot more. But what I'm going to be offering is 4 weeks of group training to go through the first 4 weeks of using TriDot together. And so, what athletes that choose to join me for 3G TriDot Kickstart will get is 4 weeks of free TriDot. So, they will be able to use the TriDot platform for free for those 4 weeks. But in addition to that, they are going to get weekly calls with me and the other athletes that are all starting on the same day as them. So, in those 4 weeks, we'll go through the setup process. We will go through making sure that the data is coming through into the system cleanly. We will go through our first assessments, and we'll have 4 full weeks of making sure that the calendar fits your real life. And then at the end of those 4 weeks, you'll have a decision to make. You can stay with TriDot as a subscription only with no coach support, or you can continue on with coach support, hopefully with me as your coach. But even if that's not the case, with another coach, because I do believe that in those first 4 weeks, you will be able to understand what you as an athlete will best benefit from. TriDot as a subscription or TriDot as a subscription plus a coach. So I am going to be doing all kinds of marketing around 3G TriDot Kickstart. So this is the first month I'm doing it. It's going to start September 14th. But go ahead and comment below if you want to be included in this. Like I said, it's free, no credit card needed. For 4 weeks, we will go through getting you started on TriDot successfully. And in those 4 weeks, you'll be able to decide which version of an athlete you are, one that is able to use an adaptive plan without a coach, or one that likes that extra support of a coach in the end. Either way, you'll have 4 weeks to decide, and then you'll be able to go on and have an awesome off season of training to prepare to have an amazing 2027 using TriDot with or without a coach. If this episode helped you, make sure you subscribe and please share it with another athlete who might need to hear it too. And if you have a question you'd like me to answer on a future episode, leave a comment or send me a DM on Instagram at 3G Coaching. Until next time, train with purpose, race with confidence, and make yourself proud.